Hello, hello. This is another video of ISV Forum, and today we will be unboxing the Serpent app from Tekunda. And so before we start the introductions, tell us more who you are as the audience listening and watching this. So you are you know what Salesforce is, and you know what the App Exchange is. If not, we'll show you that today. But if you're active on the App Exchange or in the Salesforce ecosystem, then this is for you. Doesn't matter if you're a customer, an architect, consultant, developer, or anything like that. Then watch the next 25 to 30 minutes because we'll be showing you a really cool DevOps solution, and we will be doing that with Andrew and Rion. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello, and thanks for having us. Pleasure to be here. And yeah, I'm Andrew, founder of Serpent by Tekunda. I started as a developer, a Salesforce developer, and have been working with this platform since the early days of SFDX. Over time, I've worn most of the hats: developer, consultant, and even an end user. And that matters because I can feel and connect with the expectations of every Salesforce team. Today, I also have Ramon with me. He's my brother. You might see the resemblance. He's now responsible for the business development and will be unboxing Serpent today with you.
Yeah. Nice. Thank you. Welcome.
And for me, a bit like Andrew's journey, I started as a user first, actually, with Salesforce at my previous company, and then an ISV partner through one of my companies. And now, again, on the ISV side with Andrew, helping bring Serpent.
Nice, thanks. And of course, forgot my own introduction. So I'm Andre. I've also been active in the Salesforce ecosystem for the last about 13 years. And also, just like Andrew and Ramon, I've had many hats over the years. I've been an internal administrator, consultant, also architect, and these days I call myself a business solutions architect. That also means I do a lot of shopping on the App Exchange. But enough about me. So let's talk about Tekunda and of course you and the people behind it. So can you give a bit of a high-level overview of your company, and of course we'll be working towards the origin story. When did it all start?
Yeah, Tekunda is a product and engineering company focused on simplifying how businesses work, especially where systems start to slow people down instead of helping them. Like, we build and launch complex systems for other businesses, especially around CRM and ERP. That includes heavy Salesforce work, integrations, and definitely long-lived platforms that need a better way to manage Salesforce changes across teams, environments, and their own clients. And that gap is what led us to build Serpent.
All right. And so how long ago did this idea start, and sort of when did the company start? So now from my own experience, sometimes there can be like 10 years in between those two dates.
Yeah, so Tekunda started in 2018 in stealth mode initially. Then we became public in 2022. And Serpent was launched in 2020.
All right, and we're now in February 2026. So you're not a new, not new anymore, but new on the App Exchange, right?
Yeah, indeed. So we passed the security review, and we're now in the process of the final approval of the listing to be publicly available for everyone to check it out. And you can show the URL of the listing itself here.
Yes. Yep. Actually, let me quickly get that. So that is the website where you can, of course, also find the link to the listing. But definitely check this one out. And later on, I'll actually show you the listing itself when we start with the demo. So with the name, because you mentioned Serpent and Tekunda, can you tell us a bit more about what does it mean, or what's the story behind that?
Yeah. So the idea behind Tekunda comes from the technology and anaconda. Even though the anaconda is one of the largest animals, it starts off small and has to shed its skin over time to grow. And that's how we think about teams and systems. You don't replace everything at once. You evolve, And we help customers move forward by removing what no longer works without throwing away what actually does. Serpent fits into the same thinking. A Serpent is focused, right, precise, and moves efficiently. And the product is designed to slot into how Salesforce teams actually work, rather than forcing them to learn a new process just to use the tool.
Oh, nice. Oh, I like that. It's pretty much like also how you should probably watch or how you should see every other Salesforce environment, especially the older ones or the bigger, more complex ones. Oh, nice. You briefly mentioned it, but who uses your product? Because it's not only Salesforce customers, right?
Yeah, so consultancies and system integrators use Serpent to manage multiple clients' orgs from one place. ISVs and PDOs, they can release packages reliable and fast. And the idea is we're trying to make sure that all Salesforce teams can, admins can use it to deploy and roll back changes safely without touching a command line. Developers can stay and use VS Code and keep using Git, and everything is synced directly to Serpent. Release managers and testers get the visibility of what's being released and when and who's doing it without chasing this information manually. And the idea behind Serpent now, it's focused on Salesforce, but in the future roadmap, which is very soon, hopefully, it's going to be like a DevOps solution for other platforms as well.
All right, nice. And quite important these days, where are you located? And you and your company mainly?
Yeah, so we're based in UAE, but our team and our users are global.
All right. Sorry, maybe last one before we actually start diving into the products. So with the team, can you tell us a bit more about that? Everyone similar profile to yourself, or is there a bunch of people who just love DevOps or just love developing DevOps solutions?
We have different profiles. So we have the engineers, that's the background of software engineering and who love DevOps solutions. We have project managers and marketing and business development and designers.
All right. That's good to know. You have the developers in-house. That's something you don't hear too often. Nice. All right. Well, I'd say let's have a look what you have made so far, and I'll start sharing my screen unless I forgot something. But I'll start sharing my screen, and then we'll have a look at the App Exchange listing, log in, and then you can take me through the next 10-15 minutes of deep dive or the unboxing. Sorry, it's an unboxing video, not a deep dive video.
Definitely. Let's go.
All right. So I'm sharing my screen now, and what you see here, this is the login screen. So if when you go to the URL, this one is the website you go to. I just wanted to show you so it looks familiar. Then, important, we have the App Exchange listing. So this is the listing, and from here you can, of course, try it out, but also have a look at all the details, any of the reviews once they're there. Once you've used it, please leave your own review, of course. But for me, always the more important page, the more details, like who is it for, what's it for, bit of a description also of the technical components. So check this out later. But Andrew or Iwan, you are probably going to talk me through this, because of course we prepared this. I logged into to the Serpent app, and what are we going to show first?
All right, yeah. So every team has their own way of working, but what we all have in common is that we want to build a feature or a task or solve a bug in our orgs and for our stakeholders. And from this dashboard, you can see who's working on what in your team, the latest changes, and you can see all the org that's been accessed or sandboxes that have been accessed or modified. But let's say you want to build a new feature. The first thing you need to do is go to work item from the sidebar.
Yeah.
A work item represents a feature, a task, or a bug fix you want to do. It's mirroring day-to-day project management tools that you've been used to, like Jira, Notion, Microsoft DevOps. Let's select actually the first work item we created before this video. Yeah, so in this work item already has a sandbox connected to it, your dev sandbox they've been working on. You've already worked on that sandbox. You can click on that sandbox to open it in a new tab. So you don't have to, keep re-logging in each time you want to access your sandbox or build a feature, etc. That's done all for you in the background. When we go back to Serpent, let's say you already built a feature and you've got maybe multiple people collaborating on that sandbox. You only want to extract your own changes. So if you press pull is for retrieving changes from a sandbox. Let's select our sandbox from here, the dev sandbox.
Also, I like the pop-ups. If you when you're on the page somewhere for the first time, it will actually tell you a bit of guidance. Always nice.
Yeah. We want to retrieve with AI. So we have this feature that helps users explain to AI with just plain English what the feature they built is, and the AI then retrieves the changes from the sandbox and pre-selects for them only the changes relevant to that feature. So if you click that one, so that means your account was not authenticated to GitHub, which is this user is using for source control. You can use GitHub, you can use GitLab, you can use Serpent built-in source control, so you don't have to, learn yet another tool. So that's all can be done for you in the background. But in this specific project, we're using GitHub. So if you're not connected or your authentication expired, you can just click this connect GitHub icon. So now it's connected in the background. So that yellow box that showed up, it detected a difference between your GitHub repo and your org. In this cases, maybe someone already made other changes and it's on GitHub, but it's not on your dev org. And this is a notice to let you know, you might want to deploy the latest changes on your org. And this is a way to always detect org drift that happens often in a lot of teams when there's multiple people. So
I can tell you, even if it's only one person, it happens.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's why we, detect that in the background for you, so you don't have to think about it and are my changes on this sandbox. If we go back to pulling our changes with the AI, select our sandbox and then retrieve with AI. So in this case, the feature we prepared is related to billing. So in this case, we just have to say billing. You might have more complex features where you need to explain more, but in this case, it's just a simple implementation. In the background, it's pulling all the changes automatically from the org, so you don't have to select which objects might have changed or which changes, like a flow or something. No, it detects everything in the background, and then the AI will try to rationalize and detect dependencies of any feature related to billing.
I love it how, of course, it also does all the dependencies, because that's, well, for me, usually where it seems to go, not go wrong, but gets complicated. You have to keep switching back and forth.
Exactly. And we've heard a lot of users and developers complain about that. Like, I might be, sharing a sandbox with 2 or 3 other people, and I built a feature and I only want to get my feature. And that could take hours of manual work. Even if if I have a tool that detects the changes automatically, I still have to select only mine, and that's going to take a while. So that's why we built that feature to address that specific page. So it auto-detected all that changes, and if you scroll down in the main content window, here's like an analysis summary, explains a little bit its rationale and why it's selected. But if we scroll down in the content window, here on the side bar, you've got this, like, all the components it detected. So it detected changes in order components, Apex classes, etc. But it only selected the object and layout. If you expand those, you can see there's a billing email. There's a layout in the account that added the billing email into the layout. There's a currency field. If you scroll a little bit more in the fields, there's a website field, but that's irrelevant to billing, so it didn't select.
Oh, handy, smart.
Yeah. After reviewing the changes it selected, you might want to manually deselect something, let's say, that you no longer use. You might have created something for the billing feature, but you decided not to include it anyways in the end result. So you can manually, override a little bit here, and then you go up, scroll up a bit. Then you want to save your changes. And this one is to save your changes to your source control and notify any team members that a change has been made and it's ready for review. If you have a review process, if you don't, we highly recommend it. And other team members to have a look at the changes you've prepared for this feature before it gets merged into the rest of the code base and deployed to maybe your test environment or to UAT, depending on your process.
Maybe I can add something in here, like before like saving and requesting review. So you can see in the background, there's also partial lines commit. That means like if you, for example, pull some Apex classes, and for example, within this Apex class, you can see the modified changes, and there's maybe a comment or a single line that you don't want to commit. So you can deselect or select per line in the metadata of that file.
A common use case for this, we all put a lot of console logs, like debug logs, in our dev org, but you don't want to move those logs into your production. So eventually, when you're merging your code to the next environment, you want to deselect those logs, but you want to keep them in your dev.
Yeah, no, definitely makes sense.
All right, so let's save actually our changes.
Okay.
Awesome. So what we see in this page is that it created a pull or a merge request. And in that PR, it's checking unit tests. It's if there's Apex class tests, if there are like validations for like static code scan. It does a lot of checks for you in the background. And the latest addition to Serpent is that it does an AI review as well of your changes. If you scroll down a little bit, that fourth card is your AI assistant that reviews your code base for mistakes, security issues, anything that might have been missed by the admin or the developer that created this. All right, so we don't have to wait for the checks to be finished. As an admin, we're always able to merge the changes directly. So let's just do that for the sake of time.
Okay.
And let's merge our change using the merge button.
Oh, right. Yes.
So what this does is actually it merges the changes we've made with the rest of the code base. So now it's in your source control, safe and sound. You can use that to deploy later. Others can continue and bring that to their orgs. But what it does, this merge button, it can run automations. And one of the automations we've set up is to deploy automatically to the test environment if you have a test sandbox. If we can go to logs from the sidebar, we can see here that everything that's being done by any team member, including automations, full audit log of everything that's been happening in your environment by Serpent or by you. Let's click on the first log, package version creation. So what's happening here is that deployments to our test sandbox is done through an unlocked package. A lot of teams that do org development are not utilizing this amazing feature of Salesforce where you can just use unlocked packages to version control and see, okay, version 1.6 is now on my test sandbox, but version 1.5 is on my UAT. And we empower this easily with Serpent through this feature. So what it's doing now is like trying to package those latest changes in a package version, and it will install it automatically on our. And that's a previously created version where you can see it created the package version. It did run the validations, and it installed it on the sandbox automatically. You can roll back that change. You can promote it to production or install it on other sandboxes all from one place. This is very useful, not only for org developers, but for package developers. If you're a package developer, you might have like different sandboxes that you do UAT with your different customers on. So you can easily install that from here, and you can visibly see all the sandboxes it's installed on. You can click on the sandbox to access it and validate the changes and maybe do post-deployment configuration that are very important for your package.
Oh, good. And I mean, I love for instance, the rollback button. So I have to admit, I have done a few Friday afternoon deployments, attempts to deployments. And this rollback button would have saved me, saved the team hours on the Friday afternoon and weekend. So good to have this.
I can imagine. That's also where we come from. We experienced that so many times, more often than we would like to admit. So we build that to help us as well. Yeah, so that's now you finished your whole process from developing a feature, getting it from your sandbox, merging it into the rest of the code base, and releasing it to your test sandbox or UAT sandbox. Maybe further, you can bring that to production, promote it to production if all validations have passed. So next, let's actually go to the analytics page from the sidebar. What I would like to show you, like an overall dashboard of everything that's been happening across all projects you might have. You might be working on different packages, you might be different orgs, and as a system integrator, as a package developer, as even an admin that is managing multiple orgs, you want to see an overall of what's happening and the health of your orgs and your projects. And that's where you would find that. If
Nice.
you keep scrolling down, there's like your team activity. You can measure their, activity versus outcomes, and org usage by type. Like there's so many things that we measure to help you have a great eagle eye view across all of your projects.
All right. So this is the analytics page. Good to see also the success rate. I need to know what your colleagues are doing or how you're performing yourself.
Indeed.
And I think the last thing I would like to show you is we really empower real-time collaboration, and that's showing already like the dashboards, showing the overview of your projects, but more importantly, an overview of all of the orgs that you might have, like sandboxes, etc. So if we go to orgs from the sidebar, you can see all the connected orgs to Serpent, and the latest activities happening on them. So someone maybe pulled some changes from there, someone deployed something there, released a new version, or you can also add a comment to your colleagues. So do you see this like chat icon beside the sandbox? Yeah. And we can just add a comment here, let people know that maybe this sandbox is being used for a live demo with a customer and you don't want someone changing anything on it. Yeah, now it shows that there's a comment there.
Cool. Andy, nice, thank you. And of course, there's a ton more things to show, but that's for the that's for videos after this. So we just saw everything around the real-time collaboration, and so yeah, good to see also the AI functionality and how you can really work and see the analytics, even if you've done it by yourself or if it's as a team. But since we only have 25 minutes for now, is anything else we didn't show on the screen now, but are there any functionalities you would like to share with us?
Yeah, there are a couple of functionalities that might be very useful for our users. We definitely use them a lot, and a lot of our current users use them a lot, is data deployment and migration. So think about it this way. A lot of Salesforce environments not only have metadata to be moved from a sandbox to an org, but a lot of people use records as configuration, and you want to deploy that too the same way. You want to track it the same way you track your metadata changes or your code changes, and we enable that easily with Serpent. So you can not only deploy it manually as if you're deploying code changes, you can even automate it in the background. So you can do that in sequence, like deploy this kind of metadata changes, and then this code, and then this data, and then custom metadata, and then the custom metadata records, and it can do that in sequence. But also for the data backups, it can back up that for you and be able to roll back to a specific time, specific point on time, like a snapshot.
Yeah, and an important addition to the data management is actually you can migrate data from a specific sandbox to another while maintaining the hierarchy levels. So if it's like a lookup or a master detail or whatever hierarchy, then it migrates it while maintaining the right levels. And also you can use it for having a full copy, for example, sandbox, while using a developer sandbox.
And one final feature is for our developers out there that prefer to work in VS Code. We have a VS Code extension, and that makes it really easy that whatever changes you're doing in VS Code can be synced back to Serpent, and your admins or consultants or architect or whoever, your tester can collaborate with you from the admin portal, or you from VS Code extension without having to leave it. And everything stays connected within the environment you're most comfortable in working.
Good. So, and that's of course everything that exists today. Since you have like you said before, you have a team, working, I'm not saying day and night, but working full time on this. You probably also have some features you have on a roadmap that might be coming out soon. Can you share a bit more about that?
Definitely. Well, we have a very busy roadmap, so I'm not going to be able to share everything, but I'll do my best to share the highlights. You saw already a few AI features today. We keep expanding on that to enable even easier DevOps without having to get to know a lot yourself or learn a lot of new tools yourself. You just talk with natural language with an AI assistant, and it takes care for everything for you in the background. We're going to support syncing with project management tools, so those tasks and features are connected with your Jira or Notion board or Azure DevOps. We're going to support more Git providers. So there's a lot happening, and we can't wait to share it with you.
Yeah, indeed.
Nice. No, okay, good. Well, we're looking forward to that. And of course, for everyone watching this, you're probably thinking, well, how do I get to know now about that? This is the QR code. So that's to get in touch with the team. We can tell you a bit more about Serpent, Tekunda, and the app. Or if you're missing anything in this video, you can contact us first as well if you like. So what we've seen is, of course, the Serpent app and everything around the real-time collaboration. So that's really the core of the platform. Of course, there's AI functionalities. They are included. That's no add-ons. Of course, there's data management, so it's not only metadata, and also a really cool roadmap to look forward to. Now, before we wrap up, I just want to thank you, both of you, for joining me in this unboxing video.
Thank you as well.
Thank you for having us.
And so for everyone listening, like the video, subscribe to YouTube, to the ISV forum newsletter, and to the newsletter. All right. Thank you, Andrew, Rimon. Thank you for this video, and we'll see you in the next one.
Definitely. Thank you.
Have a great day.
Have a good day.
Thank you. And this is the QR code. Thank you for watching.